Let's go ahead and get into the fun part. And we've got 4 students here today from outside high school. John is going to come up and introduce them, but we've got Ben Rogers, we've got Kira, correct? Ryan. We've got Isabella. Isabella, what's your last name? Mariani. Oh, see, I left the end out. I am brain dead. And we've got Jerry Zhu. Is that how you pronounce it? So, John, you want to come up and get the ball rolling with this? This is cool. This is our fun stuff. We really love having you guys in here because we're always so amazed at what you're doing and what you've done.
So I was going to start with a quick story real quick to jump off of what Lisa talked about. One of the things I'm frequently asked as a principal is, what do you do? And so last week I had an amazing experience where a young man that has had a lot of discipline challenges, a lot of hurdles, came to me and gave me a hug in the morning. And I was unclear what the hug was for. And he let me know that I had approved an investment in him. So if you guys don't recall, Rotary has donated to Mount Si, to our Invest Ed account. This is a trust that they look at statewide needs, your free and reduced lunch rates, and they move some money to your school in order to resolve some challenges for student success on school fees, test fees, yearbook, a prom, anything that would negate a kid's experience at high school. Well, the reason he gave me a hug was we had bought him 2 new pairs of pants, a pair of tennis shoes, 2 shirts, and a jacket and a beanie. And he said it was the largest gift and the first time he'd gotten new clothes in several years. And the way that came up was through these meetings, one of my counselors asked kind of a hygiene question, kind of like, I noticed you wear the same sweatshirt. He was like, this is it. So anyways, I wanted to let you know that there are a lot of hidden needs at Mount Si that many people don't see with that beautiful cathedral we have. And these students that you're going to hear are the sort of students that, out of all these things, I think the bullet number 2 is the one that's really significant to me. They model the sort of behaviors we need and seek in our young people. So I'm going to invite them all up. If I could just have them come on up here, the 4 students, and we'll kind of talk about the next thing. The other thing, while the students are coming up, I just want to let them know what SIP Fest is. Come on up, man. We'll have you right in here because I think you're live on Facebook or some sort of social media right now. Stand right here. You heard us talking about SIP Fest. That's one of our big fundraisers. It's kind of the wine and dine kind of event we have in downtown Sycamore. The reason I'm bringing it up for you guys is we're always looking for student talent to entertain during this event. We've had quartets, we've had choirs, all sorts of things. So I'm just putting that out there in case Rotary Students Quarters want to jump in first, because I know how talented you guys are. So I'm going to torture you a little bit, because one of the fun things we allow seniors to do is to have fun with their senior pictures. So seniors, they kind of have a good time. Oh, you guys need to move over so you can see them. There you go. We'll put them right there. But one of the things I'm going to put up first is just a little bit of information, and I think I started with Kira. Well, Isabella. And I'll read it for you because it's hard to read, but this is one of the statements from a teacher. Bella absolutely embodies the service before self motto and be an excellent candidate for this recognition. Bella is one of our co-presidents for Camerata Choir, has held many various leadership roles in the choir program. Most notably this year, she is the lead organizer of our choir community caroling program. Every year, students put together a self-organized group of carolers that volunteer their time doing caroling in our community. Bella has been one of the head organizers this year, sending emails to local community members, organizing students at rehearsals to prepare them for the gigs. Additionally, Bella selfishly gives so much time to our choir program, organizing fundraising events and social opportunities for students to connect. Finally, she works so hard at her academics, strives to be a role model to others in terms of her work ethic and academic achievement. Bella is an excellent candidate for this recognition. So nice job.
For SIP Fest, obviously.
She's got it,
yeah. So it's perfect, yeah.
So Bella, why don't you just introduce your guests, share a little bit of kind of what you do with your time and kind of what you're thinking next.
Okay, yeah, I'm Bella Mariani, and my guest is my mom, Wendy Mariani. Let's see, these days I spend a lot of my time obviously in the choir program. I'm in the jazz choir as well as regular choir, and Jerry and I spend a lot of time just working with choir and organizing fundraisers and doing all kinds of stuff like that, and just helping the choir be the best it can and the most connected it can, you know. I also spend a lot of my time doing music outside of school as well, playing instruments and performing and things like that. And for my future, I'm hoping to go to UW and hopefully study bioengineering. So I'm hoping to get into the engineering program at UW, and that's my number one. I'm hoping to do some sort of medical science or something like that.
Can you tell a little bit what Camerata Choir is, so they're aware of like how do you get in?
The choir program is set up where you have concert choir, which is non-audition, and intermezzo, which is non-audition, and then you have 3 audition choirs. 2 of them are only female choirs, and then the top choir, which is Camerata, is male and female mixed choir. And so Camerata is like, I guess, the top choir you can get into, and you audition every year, and they just sequester you to whatever she thinks is best for you. And a lot of the time, people spend their 4 years, you know, moving up the ladder, and I did that as well. Like I started at concert choir, and then was in Bella Voce, which is like the next step up, and then the top there.
Yes, she's very modest. We're one of the rare schools that added a 4th music instructor to a high school our size. That's not often the case. So it shows great support, but it's really talents of people like Isabella and Jerry and people in the music program that are really starting to generate this interest. I think we have close to almost 500 kids involved in the music program. So it gives you an idea that it's a cultural hub. And people often say, why that instead of a math teacher or science or whatever? Well, I can tell you that there are few students at Mount Si that put in as much time as the music students or the music instructors. And it really is the cultural hub of kind of the school. And we're starting to see cool signs where other kids are excited to hear the choirs and the jazz bands and people play in the morning. Like before it might be a handful of kids that were eating in the cafeteria that listened. Now it's like people going to those areas to really watch and observe and cheer. And so they're really making a difference there. So thank you.
So are you just singing all the time then?
Oh yeah. All the time.
You want to sing something for us?
How about you try and get these people in key?
Hey, that.
All right, so the next one up, I got Ben. I just was teasing Ben's parents because Ben's always at school, working till late, doing stuff, and I just told my secretary the other day, just give him a scan card and call him a staff member. Like, so Ben stood head and shoulders above his classmates in maturity and people. They're talking about his freshman year. Ben is one of the most dedicated and responsible students I've worked with. I'm trying to choke up. He has been the key leader in the Wildcat Production Club for the last 3 years, developing a new system for tracking our membership and organizing special events. Ben has worked hard to balance school, club leadership, and scouting. He is an Eagle Scout. Earning the rank of Eagle Scout has been a great learning experience for him. He has developed so many skills over the years. One of the things that I most admire about Ben is the strength and depth of his interpersonal skill set. He is one of the most thoughtful and kind people I've worked with. As an educator, he always makes an effort to welcome and shake the hand of our guest speakers. When I have a new student, Ben is the first person to reach out and take them under his wing. He's a school ambassador. He's helped with numerous school tours. We put him in charge of adults and just moved out of the way and just let Ben work. He is a truly inspirational student and a joy to work with. So Ben, why don't you share a little bit about your guests and kind of what you're up to?
Okay, so going from my left to right, first is my dad, John Barry Rogers. Next to him is my mom, Miss Glennis Rogers, and then my brother, Adam Rogers. So yeah, I brought my family that is currently home. And then, so yeah, I would have brought my sister if she wasn't down at college. Which, speaking of college, earlier this school year got him accepted into Western Oregon University. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and tell us about how you spend kind of your service hours and kind of the things you do, maybe your Eagle Scout project.
Okay, so first and foremost, I am somewhat still with scouting. I went back and I'm working with the scouts who are in the troop that I was in. For my Eagle project, I did this art project with North Bend Art and Industries, which is a non-profit organization that tries to bring art to the valley. On Wednesdays after school, I work in North Bend at Trail Youth, which is a non-profit coffee home. Our mission is to rip away all negative labels and bring back positive value to people. Well, and the owners actually started on a trail, which I thought I'd share that tidbit.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I've been in Scouts since my second grade year, or when I joined Cub Scouts, and I've again gone through the ranks of Cub Scouts, crossed over to Boy Scouts, and worked up to Eagle.
Yeah. Tell them a little bit about what you're thinking about for your career, because that's exciting.
At the current moment, because plans do change surprisingly, but for the current moment, I'm thinking of going into mathematics with a focus in teaching, with a minor within ASL.
Very cool. And his sister was a stellar student. She now is teaching in a deaf and blind school right now. So we've got a lineage going. So I'm hoping to see Ben return on my staff. That'd be terrific.
We have, Ben, we have an Eagle Scout. Do we have a couple of them? I know.
Charlie's.
Charlie's an Eagle Scout.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I've been teasing him because there's actually a few ranks above that I told him to research. I told him you should see what a silver beaver is and some things like that. Keeping him involved, right? So nice job, Ben. The next one is Kira. Kira was elected as the 2018-19 Key Club president. Key Club is Kiwanis, huge club at Mount Si. And to be president of that means you're really organizing a huge team of people on all sorts of service projects. She's demonstrated an exceptionally strong leadership ability. Last year, she was the first Mount Si student elected as the Division 28 Lieutenant Governor. Kira works hard to balance a challenging academic schedule, community service, and the debate team. She's earned numerous awards for her prowess in debate, including the Superior Distinction for the National Speech and Debate Association, which is a huge accomplishment. As the Key Club president and now LTG, Kira is an excellent communicator. She is adept at using multiple online systems and face-to-face interactions to keep the clubs in our division informed. You're probably aware that students don't go to email, so you have to find them where they are, and that's what she's been working on. Kira has a straightforward and open style that is comfortable with both students and adults. Serving her community is simply a way of life for Kira. She's been preparing a home-cooked meal for the homeless with her grandfather every month for as long as she can remember. Kira has spent the last couple of years working with the Green Snoqualmie Project and Snoqualmie Food Bank. As the Key Club president, she helped to organize our Bark to Life event to raise money for the American Cancer Society.
Thank you guys so much for having me. As Mr. Belcher introduced, I'm Kira Ryan, and today I brought with me my mom who took off work. She's a school bus driver, so she has to leave in a little bit. And then also my dad too.
She's a good one too, by the way, bus driver.
Yeah, I'm involved in a myriad of school events, or in extracurriculars at school and outside of school. I'm also part of the Snoqualmie Valley Schools Foundation, which if you guys aren't familiar with, which you guys should join. It's super cool. We give money to different programs at all of the schools throughout the district. We funded a couple of stuff for AP Bio so they can do different labs. We also funded some, I think ukuleles at one of the elementary schools or middle schools. And so I'm a student representative
for that, and it's really cool to like be on a board and do that change. And it's so nice that they said that like community services is simply a way of life for me, because I feel like it is. I spend almost all of my time like helping out and doing community service, especially through Key Club. I'm super familiar with Kiwanis, which seems exactly like Rotary. I've been to so many Kiwanis meetings that happen at the exact same time, but at a different golf course down the road. Ever since I joined Key Club, which was the beginning of my freshman year, I've been super involved with that. And since then, Mount Si Key Club actually was distinguished internationally, which is a super huge accomplishment because that only happens to 12 clubs internationally for Key Club, and Key Club is actually one of the world's largest student-led service organization, and I've been super involved in that. And then the Lieutenant Governor, if you guys are confused about what that means, is for Key Club, we're broken up into different areas, so I'm pretty much like the leader of 11 different schools in the Seattle area, one including like Mount Si and Two Rivers, so I help facilitate and plan service projects and just like help out over 700 students in the Seattle area complete service projects. There's like so many things that I'm doing, like so many service projects, but yeah, and then another thing I'm part of is like one of the editors of the newspaper and yearbook, and then like the debate team that's up there. And then my plans, I want to like continue helping people because it's like the biggest thing is my heart. I like love helping people, and I've always been like a self-motivated to like go and create change in the world, especially through like the things that I can do as a student at like such a young age. I love being like empowered and empowering others to like create change. And the next couple of steps in my life is probably going to college and then continuing like on from there. I've been accepted into a couple of universities and like colleges throughout like the Pacific Northwest, and like a couple like far away from home, but I'm hoping to like stay closer. And then on like after university, I have like 2 super lofty goals that I like know I will not be able to achieve at all and will most likely not happen, but one is to end the global water crisis, which is like super hard for me to like do on my own, and I'm working with this amazing, and so it's the world's largest global youth water organization, so it's all about student empowerment, and I met them through Key Club, and so they have been working for I think 10 years now, and what's super cool about them is they're going into the Moedi region of Swaziland, now called Eswatini. The ruler changed the like name of the country a couple of like months ago, or almost a year ago now. But they have the highest amount of AIDS per capita, and so a lot of times in that country, the waterborne illnesses that these people have are actually killing them faster than the AIDS is, which is something that's so sad because it's so preventable. And so the Thirst Project is all about fundraising through youth, because the Thirst Project realized that youth can achieve so much and it's such an untapped potential. So the Thirst Project around 10 years ago started touring different schools and talking about like what the Thirst Project is. I had the honor to invite them to Mount Si. They spoke at the Key Club meeting, and they also spoke at lunch to hopefully around like over 200 students about the global water crisis is. I've helped on my own with a bunch of other students raise around $3,000, which is close to 1/4 of a well, which is super cool. And then another thing about the Thirst Project that I love so much is that they do this amazing thing where it costs, because like if you guys are familiar with different well projects, it only costs around like $2,000 sometimes to build a well. Well, in most cases, like most of those other nonprofits, their wells are failing within about like around 5 years. But the Thirst Project, in the 10 years that they've been building wells, they haven't had one fail yet. And this is because they're set to last a lifetime. So that means 40 years. They go into the community and they don't only just build a well and then leave. They take like local contractors and local people that will build the well for them. And then they also educate local community members about how to have safe hygiene, because you can have water, but as long as you don't have the hygiene that you need to stay safe from that clean water and cleaning everything, then it won't work. It'll essentially fail. And then they also educate the community members on how they can reach back out to the Thirst Project if something in the well fails, so it isn't just like stops completely and then ends, and it goes back to even worse than it was already. So how to like do that. So I'm super passionate about that, and I hope to intern with them this summer, going around and like teaching different students all across the United States about the global water crisis, and then continuing to do more like after college and like after like a graduate program or something like that. And then, I'm sorry, I've been talking a long time, and then I have like one other thing that I have to share that I'm super passionate about, and it is period poverty. So I know that it's kind of like a taboo subject to talk about, and a lot of people are like super uncomfortable with the notion of it, but feminine hygiene products in Washington state are actually taxed at a larger rate because it's not seen as like a necessity good. So there's a lot of women throughout Washington state and throughout the nation that actually don't have access to these products, including several students at Mount Sinai High School and every high school across the nation. 1 in 5 women have actually missed school or missed work because they could not afford these hygiene products that are essentially, you need them to like continue about your day. And so I have been working with another nonprofit called the Period Movement, and so they are a company that is based, or they're a nonprofit based in Portland, Oregon, and with them, hopefully in the next couple of months, I will get to meet with a couple of senators and talk about how we can repeal the tampon tax, and then also be able to put like free tampons and like feminine hygiene products inside different schools that need them. So, there's a couple things, but those are like the main ones.
Yeah, you go to school too.
Hard,
You have time.
yeah.
The one thing she left out is we've had a long-standing Key Club advisor, and he stepped down this year. So Kara has basically carried this club forward, gotten a new advisor, but that advisor doesn't know all the details. He's basically Kara running this club, right? So
Very cool.
very cool. All right, Jerry. Jerry's been an incredible leader in our choir program and is also a highly achieving academic student. Jerry's our Camerata Choir co-president, a section leader for our bass section, and has been a co-leader of our community caroling program this year. As a form of community service, our choir program puts together a group of volunteer carolers to perform in and around the greater Snoqualmie Valley community every year. Jerry, along with another student, have organized and planned all of the students' rehearsals, leading and teaching the music and coordinating gigs for the community members. Jerry consistently finds ways to help our choir program, jumps into every opportunity to serve students in school that is made available to him. On top of all of this, he is also a National Merit Scholar and humbly leads his peers. I highly recommend Jerry for this recognition.
And today I brought my mom over there. And so yeah, with the choir program, I've been involved with it for most of my high school career, and so I've been in the jazz choir at Camerata as well as Bella. And so yeah, I've just been a section leader, which means I plan rehearsals outside of school to make sure that we all know our music, and also if people need practice tracks, sometimes I make those by just plunking on the piano. And then also I helped organize fundraisers with Bella. And yeah, in my free time, I like to do swimming. Right now I'm part of the high school swim team and headed to Kinko this week and then districts next week. And then my future goals so far are to go to some college, probably on the east side, studying mathematics, and then going into grad school, hopefully hopefully for medicine, maybe a family doctor or something, because I think it'd be really nice to help out others in a form of health.
I'm gonna ask a favor from Leroy here to help me get a picture taken, because I teased them that I would send their senior photos here to the newspaper, but I don't really want to do that to them, so I'm gonna have him. Anyone get the Rotary here, and I can join you guys and get a. Is that gonna work? Just
Squeeze on in. A little more,
in.
a little more.
A little more here.
Right, I guess I can. Oh, here we go. All right, say cheese.
Cheese.
Big take up there.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think our political climate right now in our country makes adults nervous, I would say. One of the benefits of working on High School Daily is I don't fear the future, because I get to work with students like this. They are much more tolerant, much more aware, much more connected, much more giving than I think our adult community, and it refreshes me every day to be able to work with students like this as well. So have a great day.
I want to present this to to each of you from the Rotary Club. We've got a $100 gift certificate in here for each one of you, and a congratulations card here, and a recognition letter that we'd like to give each one of you for coming in here. We're always so impressed with what you kids can do. I don't remember it being like this when I was a kid. You know, so it's just so impressive, and thank you very much for coming in. Jerry?
Thank you.
Didn't have these in order. You know, it's the fourth one I'm looking at.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you so
Derek,
much.
thank you. Ben, thank you. Great, appreciate it.
Yeah, Leroy, Jerry's looking for a school on the east side, by the
Great
way.
job. Yeah. A good school on the east side?
My goal is Columbia.
That east side.
Oh, you're talking way east.
Oh,
That might skip over.
I'm just amazed you guys even have time for school. I mean, here I was talking about, complaining about my job, and it's like, yeah, amazing, really amazing. Big round of applause. Wow. Wow. What do you have for time? Is it? 4 minutes. Oh, wow.
Excuse us, Principal, excuse us.
Does anybody have anything else? I just need a nap. I think we could probably cut out of here early then. I don't see any reason why not. I'm sure you four have something to do. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just call it a meeting. These are great. I love these, John. Thanks for
We'll have the next group here coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Just fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's amazing. I don't.